Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Brian coming back at you. It's Sunday. I wanted to do another video today. I've got this still a pretty much full bottle of this Rogue sauce here from High River Sauces. This is that Moruga sauce that I tried in my very first video. I haven't done a cooking video yet, so I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to use some of this excellent sauce here. So I went and picked up some drumettes from the store, and I've got the grill outside firing up right now. So why don't I take you into the kitchen and kind of give you a little heads up and how to prepare to throw your stuff on the grill. Alright, so
See you in a
here
minute.
we are in the kitchen. Before I start doing anything with the food itself, it's Sunday afternoon. We're all relaxing. It's been a nice weekend. I don't think that you should start any of your cooking endeavors over the weekend unless you've got a nice cold beverage. So today's choice here is a Negra Modelo. It's a very nice full flavored beer. Don't really know how to describe it too much. I mean, it's kind of a, let me see. It's kind of in a league of its own. It's an import beer from Mexico. It doesn't really taste like Corona or any of those other beers. It kind of has its own distinct flavor. It's a slightly darker beer. Very good flavor. Highly recommend it. Anyway, let's get down to business. If you're new to the whole cooking scene, I know some of you have probably been around the kitchen. You probably know what you're doing, but if not, let's go ahead and start with the basics and just say the first thing you always want to do before you start cooking anything is wash your hands very thoroughly, make sure they're clean. The next important thing to note is anytime you're handling raw poultry of any kind, you've got to be careful. You want to make sure you don't touch anything else with your hands after they've touched the chicken. That's how salmonella is spread. You know, I was in the restaurant industry for years, so we would always try to constantly wash your hands always is one of the big keys to making sure you stay safe in the kitchen and you don't get anyone sick or yourself for that matter. So without further ado, I'm gonna do it this one real simple. People can cook, however they want. There's all sorts of different ways you can do everything. But for today's example, what I'm going to do is take our drumettes here and we're just gonna throw them onto this plate. They're not huge pieces. It was kind of a cheaper price, which fits my budget. Throw this in the trash. And again, always, don't touch anything with your raw hands. Give them a nice wash. Alright, now you're ready to go. Now, for this one, all I'm going to do is a really simple, basic chicken. If I was going to be frying or baking, obviously there would be different steps that I would take, and, frying, I would be flouring and doing stuff. But for this, I'm just going to, very simply go through and give it a nice coating of salt, along with a nice little bit of pepper here. Well, this spice here, this is something that I got a few years ago. One of the restaurants I was working at, a traveling chef had came and he was working with us for about a year or so, and he gave me this. I honestly don't know what it is. I think he called it African Mabojo spice. I'm not sure. I've tried to do some research. I can't find out much about it. I just know that it's very, very spicy, very, very hot. So I'm not going to go crazy with this. Definitely not liberal. We'll do a nice just light coating over this chicken here. I'm going to use one hand to flip the chicken. Make sure they're all turned over. We're going to add some pepper to the other side. Same thing with the salt. I'm not going to use any more of the Mabojo sauce because I don't think I really need that spice anymore. Again, I'm not touching any raw thing or anything else with my left hand since it's been raw. And so now I'm just going to add a little simple Worcestershire sauce, however you like to say it. Everybody seems to have some creative way to call it. Name it. So again, I'm going to use my raw hand here to just to sort of flip around and get the chicken all covered in some of this Worcestershire. Again, the Worcestershire isn't necessary, but it's just something I like to add. Kind of keeps it moist. And in the end, I'm going to be tossing the wings in this Rogue sauce to make sure that it really gets a little bit of that flavor. But I am going to very carefully just pour a little bit of this on each one to try to kind of bake in some of that heat and flavor that comes in the sauce. Try to bake it into the wings there. And we're gonna, again, make sure to spread the sauce around and make sure all the chicken gets covered completely. Smells delicious, absolutely. I mean, I'm a fan of Worcestershire to begin with, but instantly you pour the Rogue sauce out and that sweet, yummy flavor comes rushing at your nostrils. All right, so I think that's pretty good for the chicken. It's pretty much well covered and coated. So one last time, we will go back and wash our hands. Now, for some of you that's worked in the restaurant industry, they used to always make us go by this rule that you wash your hands for 30 seconds so you could sing the happy birthday song to yourself twice. I think that's kind of stupid. Right here, while I'm at my own home and I'm not under anybody's rules, I'm going to wash my hands. I know how well I wash my hands. I've been doing it for years in the industry, so I'm not worried about contaminating or spreading anything. But just make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. And I'm going to take a sip on this beer, wait for those coals out there to settle a little bit more, and
all right,
throw them
so
on the grill.
It looks like our coals are pretty much right where they should be. They're nice and gray all the way over. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is spread them out and get them ready. Hopefully you can see this, I'm not sure. But you want to start by moving your grate out of the way. You want your coals to be nice and gray all the way through. And all you're doing here is you're basically just trying to spread out your coals so that they're nice and hot and they're going to provide a nice even cooking surface. So now that that's done, we're going to replace the grate. And time to get the chicken. Now, before you put the chicken on the grill, one thing you want to do to try to keep the food from sticking to the grates, it's common practice pretty much anywhere. You could use vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever you want. For today's purposes, I'm just using some regular Wesson vegetable oil. You can take several of these paper towels, fold them together, or get a brush if you have a grill brush. And you basically just want to soak it in oil and rub it across the grate. See, what that does is it helps keep the food from sticking, like I said. Now here's our yummy seasoned ready chicken. Alright, so now that those guys are on the grill, gonna let them sit and cook. I'll come back and show you again when we're getting close to them being finished.
Okay, YouTube, here we are. We are finally done grilling off our chicken. This is the final product here, and man, does it smell yummy. I'm looking forward to tasting these guys here. So, you know, you can pretty much use anything you want to toss your wings once they're done in your sauce. I've got kind of a dedicated Tupperware container here that I'm going to use for the process. These things are still steaming straight off the grill. It's the best time to add your sauce. It'll really absorb all that flavor in, and it may even help keep some of the heat there instead of losing it. So, here again is our Rogue sauce. Still has quite a bit in it. Give it a good shake. And a very nice liberal coating there. So about half the bottle or so. Seal your container tight. Give it a good shake. God, it smells really good, I gotta say that. Alright. I think we're good. Whew! Boy, you can smell the heat coming off of that, but God, it smells delicious. So, got this nice little bowl here. Dump this out here, and you don't want to lose any of that yummy sauce that's in there, so make sure you get it out on your wings. I don't know if my roommate's going to want to try this because it is pretty hot. But we'll see. Alright. Here goes the Maruga Blood Orange Scorpion Pepper Sauce Rogue Sauce on the chicken wing. Let's give it a shot. You know, that is really good. You know, some sauces have a tendency to kind of overdo the flavor of the chicken. Now I gotta say too though, when you do cook any kind of food and you add sauce to it, it is gonna lose some of the heat in the process, and it's also gonna kind of you're gonna lose some of the flavor of the sauce. But you know, the chicken has a tendency to be overbearing. It kind of goes over the sauce itself. But man, is this delicious! This is a really, really good chicken. It's really not too hot at all, honestly. I was really worried. I thought it might really kill me. Now I am gradually feeling the heat increase a little bit as it goes. But the chicken is grilled to perfection. It is so nice and tender and juicy. This sauce just gives it an absolutely amazing flavor. I definitely highly recommend this. I really haven't spent a whole lot of time. Most of the restaurants I've been in were somewhat corporate, so I had to follow guidelines and pretty much use whatever corporate said we had to use. So I didn't have much opportunity to use these kinds of things. And you know, being someone that's adventurous and likes you know, being creative in the kitchen, it kind of hindered me from being able to really enjoy doing these kinds of things. And that's why I'm hoping in this YouTube video series that I plan on having, I can have a little more fun in the kitchen and experiment with some of these different sauces, because man, this is absolutely delicious. I'm not gonna lie though, the heat is there. If you give it a few seconds, the more you eat, I can tell this is gonna be a scorcher. It's nice and hot. I'll definitely have the ring of fire later for anyone who knows what that is. But man, absolutely tasty. I highly recommend this sauce for you know, for anything really, but especially barbecue wings. The blood orange that's in there has a nice citrus flavor with the meat. The garlic that's in it's impressive, you know, really comes out in the flavor. Of course, you can taste the peppers. The vinegar taste is completely gone. A little bit of that lime juice probably adds to the citrus as well, but boy, That is a tasty sauce. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm going to enjoy the rest of these wings. I hope you have a good time. Again, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow my channel. If you have any questions for me or suggestions for things for me to eat, please leave it down in the comment box. What's your favorite food? Tell me, what's your absolute favorite food? It doesn't matter whether it's pizza, lasagna, whatever it is. Just tell me down in the bottom box and let's start a conversation. Take care.
Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face.